Well, Diecast Supercon 2024 is in the books. I'm going to tell you all about it when we come back. Don't go away. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And indeed, Diecast Supercon 2024 is in the books, and I had a great time. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you're going to want to go to this. If you like diecast cars, you're going to want to go to this. And here's the cool news. They already have the dates out for next year's, I think it's February 20 to 23 or something like that, or 25 to 28, or I don't know, but look up, I'll put the address down here. Go to their website. They already have the dates announced, and you can already start buying tickets and booking reservations. So you have a whole year to prepare for this, and I'm telling you, you're going to want to come to this thing. I had a hoot, and I for sure will be back next year. So, you know, I did a couple live check-ins, but that's not the whole story. So we're going to come here today. I'm going to take you through my adventures at Diecast Supercon 2024, and I'm going to talk to you about what I did, what I think of it, the pros, the cons, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, and all of that kind of stuff. But first, I got to show you just some of the swag that I got, okay? Look at this. Souvenir car. It's glorious. It's like a rat fink type thing in a multicolored candy. Here, I'll get a good picture of it. And you know what? I bought the VIP tickets, and so I had a credit at the collectibles store. So this cost me $5. Yeah, and it's beautiful. I love this thing. Whoever did this did a good job. Okay, so anyhow, then I got this guy, the Weekend of Wheels. I won this on the spinny wheel thingy. But look at this thing. I didn't even know something like this existed, okay? I had never even seen one of these. I will tell you, though, I screwed myself. The guy had 3 of these. He had 2 number 11s and 1 red number 10. 10's my lucky number. And on day 1, I was there, and it was there, and I wanted it, and I didn't buy it. And the next day when I went to go get it, it was gone. All that was available was 11, but this was still so cool that how do you not get this? This is amazing. I'm blown away. Okay, so let's talk about Diecast Supercon. It was held at the beautiful Ahern Hotel here in Las Vegas, and when I say that, I'm not being tongue-in-cheek. The hotel was fantastic. The restaurants were nice. The people were nice. The facility was clean and safe, and it was really easy to get to. So super, super happy with the Ahern Hotel. And it's got kind of a unique layout, which made it interesting and fun. They had plenty of stage area. They had plenty of vendors, special events. It was really, really super cool. So I'm going to take you from check-in, and we're going to go through, and I'll take you around and show you Diecast Supercon 2024. Let's go take a look. So Wednesday was vendor move-in day, and there wasn't really anything happening on Wednesday. But at 3 o'clock, you could go over to the hotel and go to the registration desk and pick up your credentials. So I went ahead and did that. Got there. It was a piece of cake. Went down there, got in line, got my goodie bag and my laminate, and I was all set. Now, I was not planning on going on Thursday. I was going to make Friday and Saturday my big days. But come Thursday, I really had some time on my hands, so I decided I would go early, stay for just an hour or two, kind of check things out, get the lay of the land, if you will, maybe do some early shopping. So I headed over. I grabbed an early breakfast at Automo in the Ahern, and then I went ahead and just kind of wandered around a little bit and checked things out so I would be ready for the next day. So Friday comes, and I knew I could get there a little bit later because Saturday is obviously going to be the biggest day. But I did plan to be there a little bit longer on Friday, and so uh, I took my time getting out of the house in the morning, and you know did all my things, and then drove down to the show for Friday. My plan was to catch a lot of the activities and the speakers that I was interested in seeing and hearing from, and doing some of the shopping that I wanted to get done Friday. That way, on Saturday, I could really focus on the car show and maybe doing a live stream check in, which I ended up doing. And so, I kind of got there, and I want to say we got there a little closer to 10 o'clock. But then I went ahead and just started doing my things. And again, it still wasn't too busy, but you can definitely see things starting to ramp up. And even though, what I mean by busy, I'm talking about people there. There was still plenty going on. There were guest lectures, there were presentations by uh, Jada and all the other car companies, M2. Everybody was there and doing things. There were games and shopping and just all sorts of fun stuff to do. So that was kind of my whole morning on Friday, up until about lunchtime, at which point I went back to Ottomo. All right, it's time for a break, okay? Been here for a little while, done a lot of shopping, had some fun, but I'm here in Ottomo. This is the place I was telling you about where I had breakfast yesterday, and today I'm going to do lunch. I'm going to have one of their pizzas, and that's the nice thing about this venue is this place is clean and neat and beautiful. This restaurant has been fantastic, and it's a great place where you can come in, sit down, grab a really delicious bite to eat, and kind of relax a little bit, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some lunch and a soda and chill, and then I'll get back out there. So this was going to kind of wrap up my Friday. It was lunch at Ottomo, and I decided to try one of their pizzas. And well, let's face it, Dave Portnoy isn't going to give this a an 8, that's for sure. But it was tasty enough, very cheesy, and frankly, I enjoyed it. And then I went ahead and walked around a little bit more, saw a couple other things, and then I called it a day. So after lunch, I went ahead and I hung out for a little bit longer. I went to a couple of the presentations by some of the diecast companies, and I did a little more shopping, and I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that I saw there that I really thought the vendors came strong. They had a lot of merchandise there of every type, and frankly, the prices were really reasonable. You have to expect prices to be up at a show like this because these vendors incur a lot of cost to come to these things. So you have to expect the prices to be up. But these were really reasonable. I went to a show, and I'm not going to harp on it, but I went to a show and somebody was selling a Hot Wheels lunchbox for like $350. Here, you just saw it. It was like, I think 125 bucks or something like that, which is really reasonable for that lunchbox because it was in really nice shape. But that was indicative of the prices throughout the show. No, nothing was cheap. Okay, don't get me wrong there, but it also wasn't ridiculously priced, and so I was able to actually shop a little bit and enjoy myself.
and stuff. So we got all kinds of stuff that
One
we
of the
can
funnest
really work
features
on
of the
anything
convention
forward.
was the
But we have a special
presentations
version
by
for
all the
this that
diecast
fits really
manufacturers.
well.
It
Everybody
was
else
a
is
little bit like them
the
pulling back the
bucket seat
curtain.
console.
You
That's
got
pretty
to
neat. They got
see
the software
pending
built into it.
releases. You got to learn a little
You
bit
know,
about
little
the
secondary
process
cars
that
out
they
there.
go through to
Really
make
cool
these
cars. We got
diecast
the
cars. And
1960 Dodge Challenger
frankly, it was
with
pretty
the
neat.
flat hood.
and I really enjoyed hearing some of the secrets of the trade, if you will. So yeah, I made sure to catch some of those as well as playing some of the games, just for fun. I mean, you're at these things to have a good time. Have a good time. Okay, it's that simple.
Some of that. Bob Ratliff and his team, they're floating around. They're the ones that make all the gaming events happen. Anything that has to do with that, all of the drops. Look.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's 8:13 here in beautiful Las Vegas, and I am already at the Ahern Hotel. Why? It's Saturday, the car show. Brought out my Trans Am. It's upstairs in the parking garage for the show, and I gotta tell you, it's stinking miserable out there. It is so windy and cold. I'm in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt because I've been inside the whole weekend, but the Trans Am is upstairs. I'll go out later when things calm down and warm up a bit. But yeah, so had to get here early, get the car checked in. I went down to Automo and had another nice breakfast here at the Ahern. Fantastic, and I'm ready for the big final push today, Saturday, here in Vegas for Diecast Supercon 2024. Let's get to it. It's very, very sad. The car show was kind of a disaster. And it had nothing to do with the show or anything like that. The cars were great. There were a lot of really cool rides there. But the weather here was so bad. It was like a plague. I was expecting the locusts and frogs to come marching in. It was like sideways raining mud balls. It was so windy and so cold. It was just insane here. It was terrible. It was terrible. I don't have any other words for it other than it was terrible. I parked my car, and I may have spent a total of 4 minutes in the garage at the car show because it was so ugly. Okay, so we're back, and I want to interrupt here for a second. I want to talk about the diecast contest, and I want to talk about the car contest. And this is going to sound like sour grapes, and I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's not. I didn't win anything. And I don't care. And in fact, the people who won, I probably would have voted for them myself. All right? Here's the problem. And it's not their problem. This is a me problem. I'm a simple man with simple tastes. Everything I do is kind of toned down. Okay? I don't go wild. Okay? And so let me start by talking about the diecast custom contest. This is where the problem was. When you entered, you had to either enter as a kid, an amateur, or a professional. Well, I do a YouTube channel on this stuff. I can't enter as an amateur. That would be absolutely disingenuous. So I entered as a professional, but holy cow, you've seen these guys like Akai Studios and all that. These guys are on a whole different level than I am. So as unfair as it would be for me to compete in the amateur level, it was unfair for me to have to be competing against the professionals. Some of these guys clearly had like metal shops and other things like that. They had all these electronic skills and there was I wasn't even in the same realm. It was like comparing apples to rhinoceroses. Okay, that's how vastly different things were. So I got one look at some of the other castings that were there, and there was no chance for me, especially because as soon as I stretched something, I was in the wild category. So now I'm against professional wild and didn't stand a chance. So it was pointless for me to even enter. I won't enter again. Okay, it's just a hassle. You got to bring your cars down there, and then why do I want to go through all that hassle and do all that stuff just to get beat senseless by vastly superior cars? Absolutely, cars that were absolutely worthy of winning. But and here's how this spills over into the car show. It's the same thing. I pulled into the parking garage in my daily driver stock 81 Trans Am Turbo, and I knew I was toast. I wasn't winning a thing there, man, and that's fine. But it comes down to these categories. There are no categories for me. I have the same problem with my Challenger because I kept my Challenger very street, old school. I don't have murals, and I don't have lighting on it, and I don't have it's not slammed, and it doesn't have air effects and all this other stuff. It's a 70s era hot rod is what it is. And it just doesn't win in contests. So, and it's not just Diecast Supercon. The Muscle Cars at the Strip is coming up. I'm going to be going out there. I'm going to show my car on the fun field, but I'm not going to compete because I don't compete against these. I don't match up to what they're doing, and they never ever have categories that fit the genre that I'm in. So just be aware of that. If that's your thing, you go for it. The car show was fun, except for the fact that the weather was abysmal, and we had driving mud storms, and it destroyed everybody's car. But otherwise, the cars were amazing. That was fun. The diecast contest was cool. It's just not for me going forward. And so that's just a cautionary tale for you guys. Think about the category you're going to have to compete in, and then make a decision, is it worth it to you? All right, let's get back to Diecast Supercon. Neverland Collectibles, they came strong. They had this whole little area to themselves, and I can see why, because their stuff, well, look at it. I don't have words. Okay, look at these things. These are amazing, and it was fun to see the presentation that they had. It was a really good deal, and I understand why they were kind of set apart, because they are a world apart. Then we had the Diecast Custom Contest, and that was cool. The cars were protected. It was a little bit disorganized, I gotta tell you. Some people didn't know, were we going to be able to leave the cars there for the whole show, or did we have to pick them up each night? There was just a lot of questions about things. I had to gas with the categories. It caused a lot of problems because, frankly, I don't build the way some of these, you see some of these build. There's my ambulance, and it's a wonderful piece, but man, it doesn't hold a candle to what some of these other guys are doing. I think this one guy must own a metal shop or something like that, because his builds were just insane. Still, it was really fun to see what everybody else was doing, even though it's stuff I will never, ever do. But I enjoyed it. It was a nice addition to the show. But I'd like to see it improved and tweaked a little bit. So that's just my observation on that, but it was still a lot of fun. So knowing I was going to be there Saturday for a long time, I went ahead and well, like I said, I had to get there at the crack of dawn. I had breakfast at Automo, but I also snagged lunch. I had a bacon cheeseburger. And then it was time for me to start trying to snag autographs. And there were only two that I really wanted. And I shouldn't say that. Two that I would have been sad if I didn't get them. I didn't get Larry Woods, and that made me a little sad, but I got the number one that I wanted. I got Don Prudhomme's autograph, and I was real excited to be able to meet a living legend like that. The Snake, I mean, he is funny car racing. And I loved that era of funny cars. When the cars looked like cars. I loved that stuff. I got two autographs, one on a Snake Hot Wheels set and one on the prints that they had there. And I'm actually thinking about giving away the print this Christmas for the 2024 Christmas extravaganza. You're going to have to comment if you want me to put that into the prize list. So comment below if you want to see that as one of the giveaways for this next Christmas extravaganza. Okay, so anyhow, I was tired by the end of Diecast Supercon, but I had so much fun. It was a great time, and I'm glad it's over. Whenever you go to one of these shows or something like that, it's always a real beatdown, and but it's a fun beatdown. And so I'm glad to be home, sitting on the couch, cuddling with my dogs, and hanging out with my sweetheart Reg, and just chilling out and doing my thing. But boy, did I have a good time, and for sure I'm going to be back next year. And I really hope to see you guys there. And if you're going to come next year, put something in the comments. Maybe we can work out some kind of a meet and greet or something like that. Maybe I can get a room and we can all get together and have a couple beers and talk about diecast cars or something like that. So let me know if you're going to come out to the convention next year, because I'm telling you, it's worth the trip. You'll thank me for this. Anyhow, I had a great time. I really loved it. I hope you loved this video. If you did, please give it a giant thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. As always, if you have any questions or comments, especially about Diecast Supercon, put them down below. I love to hear from you guys. All right, that's going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I've got a lot to do, many exciting things in store for you, and I have work. So I'm going to get cracking. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be good.